What's up? My name's Preston. Um, I don't, if, as you can tell, I'm just a regular person. Um, Nothing special. I'm a trans man. I go by male pronouns. I've been on testosterone for 2 years. And it's been a roller coaster ride, to say the least. And anyways, today I'm going to be talking about things that trans guys don't like to talk about, such as the possibility of your period starting again after being on hormones for over 1 year and 8 months, because that's what happened to me. And I'll get into that in a few minutes. But a lot of other things trans guys don't like to talk about is, they don't talk about is the fact that when you have top surgery, which I haven't, but when you have top surgery, there is a likelihood that you will either lose partial feeling or your entire feeling in your chest. And sometimes people don't regain that feeling. And I've asked several trans men that I follow on Instagram avidly if after their surgery they felt much. And, one guy was 1 year and 2 months post-op of having a mastectomy, and he still cannot feel anything. So that being said, I'm not willing to sacrifice being able to feel my own chest for aesthetic purposes, a physical appearance. I am dysphoric about my chest. However, I'm not necessarily willing to go under the knife to make myself feel better, because regardless of what's under my clothing, I'm the only one that sees it. My partner's the only one that sees it. No one else sees what's underneath my clothes, so it really doesn't matter to me. Like, I don't want bottom surgery. Never wanted bottom surgery because it's brutal. For those of you who do not know, the way they do bottom surgery, which is actually called the phalloplasty, there's stage 1 and stage 2. I don't know what happens, specifically in these stages. However, what I do know is they take skin from what they call a donor arm, and that's the skin that they would be using to basically make the, I'm just gonna say it, shaft of the penis. And so basically they take the entire, pretty much up to here, depending on the length, whatever, they take this portion of forearm and remove all of the skin, so down to the muscle and bone. And I've seen photos. They're very graphic. You can look them up for yourself, because I'm not going to show them in this video because they're upsetting. And then after that, they take basically skin from your leg and replace the skin that they took from your arm with that skin from your leg. And a lot of the time, the guys who have healed from this procedure, they can't orgasm, basically. And that's one thing that I also would not be willing to give up, is the ability to get off, because it releases chemicals in your brain that make you feel good. And so, I don't know, I like to feel good. I don't want to not be able to, feel anything, in my chest or in my downstairs, because of the simple fact that I, as a person, need to feel physical touch. I get anxiety when I can't feel things, and I feel like, just in general, that would just make me even more dysphoric, because something that I worked so hard for, I wouldn't be able to feel, so that wouldn't make me feel very good at all. And a lot of trans guys don't think about that. They don't think about, I'm not going to be able to feel, possibly. And a lot of them don't care. And that's fine. That's their decision. But I am one of those who does care. I, like I said, have no plans on getting top surgery or bottom surgery at any point right now. Possibly top surgery in the future, but as of now, I'm afraid of losing feeling. I don't want that possibility, and I don't want to put myself at risk for any, like, side effects from surgery. I've heard of trans guys developing large blood clots where their drains go, and it causes deformities in the surgery areas, and so that is an issue that can happen. But anyways, so what I was going to say, like I was talking about earlier, is I've been on testosterone for over 2 years now. 2 years was on August 10th, so it's been 2 years and 7 days. And so basically, quite recently, within the last couple months or so, I wasn't able to get my testosterone because I was having difficulties with my insurance and with my doctor and communication with them. Because communication for me is very important, because I live 4-ish hours away from where my doctors are, because my insurance is there. And it's a very complicated situation. I can't really explain much, but what I'm saying is I have to drive very far to even see my doctor in person. And so all of our appointments recently have been through telephone or over video chat, so virtually. And so, yeah, and the last time I spoke with my doctor, I was informed that the subcutaneous needles, which are an under-the-skin injection, they're very short, and there's another injection called the intramuscular IM injection, and that's where you inject into a muscle, and that's what I was doing. And so, but anyway, so she informed me that the subcutaneous bottle that was supposed to have subcutaneous needles in them, the needles that they gave me were actually for intramuscular, and so I could have either seriously injured myself or accidentally, according to my doctor, seriously gotten ill or some sort of internal damage, because the needles that I were using were meant for IM. And a lot of people might call me stupid because, oh, you didn't check, but I have a friend who's a pharmacist, and I asked her, she works at CVS, I asked her, I'm like, hey, I'm going to call her Mary. Hey, Mary, do you guys, as pharmacists, double check the prescription and the label before they go out to customers, just to make 100% sure and to double check that the medication is correct and that the dosage is correct, and or the needles are the right kind, etc. And she said, yeah, they do check, they double check, and they should. It's part of the job. And so the fact that the pharmacist, handed me out these IM injections that were labeled subcutaneous was really weird to me. But anyways, my doctor helped me figure that out, and so I've been doing intramuscular again. I've been able to do it. In the beginning, when I was doing testosterone, really seriously hurt myself. I couldn't inject myself in my thigh, which was what I started doing at first, and what I was shown and taught how to do when I went to see my doctor when I was starting testosterone. And I had to actually, unfortunately, teach myself how to inject intramuscularly into my buttocks, because that's what I do. I inject into my butt, because it's much, much, much better. It doesn't hurt nearly as much as injecting into my leg. I'm not sure why, but recently it's been going a lot smoother doing the injection in my buttocks. Anyways, the point is, I missed over a month of doses, because I do 50 milligram or injection per week. So I'm on 200 milligrams per month, but I do a 50 and 50 and 50 and 50. So split up into 4 times per month, because in the very beginning of my transition, I was struggling a lot with my anger, and I was having really bad anger outbursts. And after I switched to doing it every week, my testosterone levels became more manageable, and my mood has become a lot better because of it. But so I missed an entire month of doses, and so being off of testosterone for over a month started to take a toll on my mood and as well as my body, because for about 5 days I had spotting and bleeding because I have not had a hysterectomy, which is when they basically take your uterus and all your reproductive organs out. And so I still can have my period if I stop testosterone. And that's one of the parts about being born female that really truly sucks, is the fact that I can still have my period if I stop testosterone. And so that's one thing that I don't like. But it happened, and so I pushed through it, I dealt with it, and it stopped and hasn't happened since. So I'm hoping that it stays that way, because I was very triggered and felt very dysphoric because I haven't had my period in almost 2 years. Like I said, it was about 1 year and 8 months into my transition that this happened. And so basically, I was going through a lot of depression because of it for about 5 days. Like, I didn't even really want to get out of bed, but I did, because, you know, as an adult, a 23-year-old, I kind of have to do things for myself because I don't live with mom and dad anymore. And so, I don't know, I was struggling a lot with anxiety because I hadn't had my one of my medications in a while, and so I just was able to get that refilled. And so I took it today, and I feel much better, but it's gonna be a journey, because I still have yet to change my name. I just tell everyone, hey, I'm Preston, and I don't tell them my biological name because there's no point. I show them my ID. If people are respectful, they won't call me by my biological name if I introduce them, introduce myself to them as Preston, because I feel if you put effort into trying to get people to understand that you identify differently and do not, basically won't let someone get away with misgendering you or using your biological name. I don't like calling it a dead name because, you know, you didn't die. So it's your biological name. So, like, I don't know, don't crucify people for that. However, you can educate them, and that's really all you can do. Like, violence isn't really the answer, and I know a lot of us get really angry because as trans people, even trans women, and LGBT people in general, we all struggle with acceptance in some way. And that being said, having the support of other LGBT folk is really, really important as well, for anyone who's part of the LGBT community. Because as a community, I feel like we need to support each other, help, you know, just in general, be there for one another, because a lot of us have experienced similar things. A lot of us have experienced trauma in our lives that has influenced us to be who we are. And so, in general, I feel a lot of the problems that exist in the world have to do with the fact that people don't like things that they're not used to. For instance, if you grow up in the South and your parents are extremely homophobic and you're raised to believe it's wrong. You're not, just imagine, you're not gay, you know, you were raised to believe that, you know, being homosexual is wrong, or being part of the LGBT community in any way, shape, or form is wrong. Then understand it makes sense. It makes sense, because if you're raised that way from childhood through adulthood, you're gonna believe it. Your brain's gonna start to, you know, process this information as, oh, it's right. This is okay to do this. It's okay, you know, like racist people. It's okay to be racist, which it's not. Every logical person knows that it's not right to be racist. It's not right to be homophobic. And most of us realize that. But the people who don't, all you can do is basically educate them. Like I said, like, violence doesn't lead to peace. Violence just leads to more violence. You can't fight fire with fire, because you're just gonna get burned. So, over the years, I've learned, because I came out at 19 years old and didn't start testosterone until I was 21. And so, it's been a journey, to say the least. From being misgendered every day to not being misgendered at all is a huge change for me, because I would get misgendered on the daily because of how high my voice was, how feminine my features were. You know, I didn't look 100% like a woman, but I sure as hell sounded like one, because it's like, what are you gonna do? Like, I sounded like a 13-year-old boy, maybe even 11, okay? So, you know, I just, sometimes I just wouldn't correct people when they'd misgender me, because I just didn't have it in me to put myself in an uncomfortable situation where I have to justify to somebody that, yeah, I'm a boy, I identify as a boy. Like, I'm not going to have that conversation with a stranger, because there's no point. A lot of people don't get it, and that's their issue, really, in my eyes. Like, if you're not going to accept me, then don't. Like, you don't have to. So, yeah. I don't know. Like, I just wanted to make a short video about some things that have been on my mind recently. And just talk, because I talk a lot. I like to, record how I'm feeling, and just, in general, just vent sometimes, because sometimes I exhaust the people in my life when I vent about all my problems. And I know a lot of people in my life aren't trans, so they can't relate to a lot of things that I feel. But I feel like YouTube is a great outlet, and that's what I'm using it for, basically. So, yeah. That's about it. So, yeah. Like and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know if you want me to make any videos on any specific topic or anything like that. I'm going to be uploading a video on my aquarium and other terrarium animal after this video, so there's going to be 2 videos coming up today. So, anyways, thank you for listening, and if you made it through to the end of the video, thank you. Means a lot. Anyways, like I said, like, subscribe, share, comment, do whatever you want. It's up to you. Anyways, I'll see you next time, guys.